At 2:30 a.m. in the middle of the night, Prince William got into his car and went somewhere he told no one about. Even his security guards didn't know where he was going. What William did that night at St. Mary's Hospital made the nurse who saw him cry and changed the hospital staff forever. William's behavior that night proved what kind of person he really was. So what did William do at the hospital in the middle of the night that made everyone admire him? Hello, dear Princess Kate Stories family. Before we dive into this touching story, how selfless do you think royal family members really are? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss these special moments. On a cold night in November 2024, Prince William couldn't sleep in his room at Kensington Palace. While Kate was sleeping beside him, William's mind was elsewhere. A phone call he had received that day was giving him no peace. The voice of head nurse Margaret Johnson calling from St. Mary's Hospital was still ringing in his ears. "Your Majesty, we have an 8-year-old child," Margaret had said in a trembling voice. "His name is Timothy. He's a leukemia patient. His condition is very serious and the child constantly talks about Prince William. He really wants to meet you." William received these kinds of requests often. Usually he would arrange official visits. The media would come, flowers, gifts. But this time he had felt something different in Margaret's voice. A hopelessness, an urgency. "Your Majesty," Margaret had continued, "Timothy's time is very limited. The doctors say he doesn't have much time left. The child asks every night, 'Is Prince William coming?'" William had made his decision at that moment, but this visit would be different from the others. No media, no cameras, no protocol. He would go just as a human being. At 2:30 a.m., William quietly got out of bed. Kate was sleeping. He didn't want to wake her. He quickly got dressed and left the palace without even notifying his security. William was using his own car, a dark-colored Toyota, an ordinary vehicle without royal license plates. As he drove through London's deserted streets, only the light of street lamps accompanied his journey. Classical music was playing on the car radio, but William's mind was elsewhere. He was thinking about Timothy, an 8-year-old child fighting between life and death, and his only wish was to see a prince. William thought about his own children, George, Charlotte, Louis. They were all healthy, happy children. What if one of them was in Timothy's place? This thought deeply shook him. When he arrived at St. Mary's Hospital, it was 3:15 a.m. The hospital was quiet. Only the emergency room lights were on. William parked his car in the staff parking lot and walked toward the hospital. Security guard David Miller was standing at the door. He was surprised when he saw William. "Your Majesty, we weren't expecting you. Do you have an appointment?" David asked. "No," William said calmly. "I came to visit Timothy Thompson. Could you please call head nurse Margaret Johnson?" Margaret Johnson couldn't believe it when she saw William. He had come in the middle of the night, without any notice, alone. "Your Majesty," Margaret said calmly, "security protocols, media." William raised his hand. "Margaret, tonight I'm just William, not a prince, no protocol, just a man who wants to see Timothy." Margaret saw the sincerity in William's eyes. This wasn't an official visit. This was something personal. "Timothy is sleeping right now," Margaret said in a soft voice. "I can wait for him to wake up," William said. "I'm not in a hurry." Margaret took William to the pediatric oncology ward. The corridor was dimly lit and quiet. The walls were covered with children's drawings, rainbows, suns, happy families. "Timothy's room is here," Margaret said, pointing to room number 4. "His family is also here, but they're sleeping too." William looked into Timothy's room from the doorway. The little child was sleeping in bed, with his mother Sarah Thompson and father Mark Thompson sitting by his side. Both looked tired. William quietly entered. Sarah Thompson lifted her head when she heard a sound, and her mouth fell open when she saw William. "Your Majesty," she whispered, Are you real?" William smiled. "Yes, I'm real. I heard some things about Timothy. I wanted to see him. Mark Thompson also woke up and jumped to his feet when he saw William. "Your Majesty, thank you so much. Timothy really admires you." William approached Timothy's bed. The little child looked very weak. His hair had fallen out due to chemotherapy, but there was a peaceful expression on his face. "Should I wake him up?" Sarah asked. "No," William said. "Let him sleep. I'll wait." William started talking with Timothy's family. He listened to their story, learned what a difficult process they were going through. "Timothy is a very strong child," Sarah said, trying to hold back her tears. "But sometimes he gets very tired. The only thing that cheers him up is talking about the royal family." "He especially loves you," Mark said. "When he sees you on TV, he gets very happy. He says one day I'll meet Prince William." William's heart tightened. It touched him deeply that such a small child was fighting such a big battle. "How long has Timothy been here?" William asked. 3 months, Sarah said. "The treatment is very tough. Sometimes we lose hope, but Timothy never gives up." Just then, Timothy stirred. He slowly opened his eyes and looked around. When he saw William, his eyes widened. Mom, Timothy said in a trembling voice. "Is this a dream?" Sarah smiled, her eyes full of tears. "No, sweetheart, it's not a dream. Prince William came to see you." Timothy couldn't believe it. He sat up in bed and looked at William. "Is it really you?" Timothy asked. William sat next to the bed. "Yes, Timothy, it's really me. I wanted to meet you." Timothy's face lit up. Despite his illness, there was an incredible sparkle in his eyes. "Prince William! I always watch you on TV. You're amazing." William smiled. "Thank you, Timothy, but I'm just an ordinary person. How are you?" "I'm good," Timothy said. "I'm a little tired, but very happy. You really came to me." William and Timothy started talking. Timothy told William about his illness, explained the treatment process, but he wasn't complaining. On the contrary, he was very positive. "The doctors are very good," Timothy said. "The nurses are very kind too, but I wanted to talk to you the most." "Why?" William asked. "Because you look very strong. I'm trying to be strong too." William's eyes filled with tears. He was seeing such great maturity from such a small child. "Timothy, you're already very strong. I'm learning a lot from you." Timothy was very happy when he heard this. "Really? Can I teach you something?" "Of course, William said. "You're teaching me what courage means." Timothy took something small out of the drawer next to his bed. It was a handmade drawing, a picture of William with his family. "I drew this for you," Timothy said shyly. "You, Kate, George, Charlotte, and Louis. You all look very happy." William took the picture. It was a very simple but very sincere drawing. It had been made by small hands that had difficulty holding a pencil. "Timothy, this is amazing. Thank you so much. I'll put this in a very special place." Timothy was very happy. "Really? Will Kate see it too?" "Of course. Kate will love this picture very much." William also took something out of his pocket, a small badge with the royal coat of arms. "This is my gift," William said. "This is a special badge. I only give it to very brave people." Timothy's eyes sparkled. "Will this be mine?" "Yes, yours forever." While William was talking with Timothy, Nurse Linda Davies entered the room. She was on the night shift and was surprised to see William. "Your Majesty, how can I help you?" "Hello, Linda," William said. "We're chatting with Timothy. Are you Timothy's nurse?" "Yes, Your Majesty. Timothy is a very special child." William stood up and approached Linda. "You and your team are doing an amazing job. Timothy is being taken care of very well." Linda was affected by William's sincerity. "Thank you, Your Majesty. Timothy is very precious to us." "How difficult it must be for you," William said, "seeing these little warriors every day." Linda's eyes filled with tears. "Sometimes it's very difficult, but children like Timothy inspire us." Timothy wanted to introduce William to the other children, too. There were 5 more children in the ward, all of different ages, all receiving cancer treatment. William, guided by Timothy, visited the other rooms. Every child was very surprised and happy when they saw him. 9-year-old Emma had lost her hair due to chemotherapy. When William saw her, he said, "You look very beautiful, Emma." 12-year-old Jake had difficulty walking due to a tumor in his leg. William talked to him about soccer. 6-year-old Sophie was scared of William because she was so young. But when William talked to her about her toys, they became friends. He spent time with each child separately, listened to them, showed them interest. The children's mothers and fathers were also very moved when they saw William. These families, who had been going through very difficult days for a long time, found morale with William's unexpected visit. Emma's mother, Carol, approached William. "Your Majesty, I don't know how to thank you for this. Emma is much happier after seeing you." Jake's father, Robert, said, "Your Majesty, we hadn't seen the smile on our child's face for a long time." Sophie's mother, Anna, was crying, "Your Majesty, you're not just a prince, you're an angel." William was very moved when he heard these words. "No, you are the heroes. Supporting these children through this process requires incredible strength." Dr. James Richardson, a pediatric oncology specialist, had the opportunity to talk with William. "Your Majesty, this is very meaningful for our children. Morale is very important for them." William asked Dr. Richardson questions about the treatment process. He wanted to learn how difficult it was, what the families were going through. "Doctor, what more can I do for these children?" William asked. "Your Majesty, what you did today is priceless, but if you want, maybe we can create more awareness." William thought a lot about this. Maybe these visits could become regular. It was approaching 6 a.m. William knew he had to leave, but he said goodbye to each child separately. When saying goodbye to Timothy, he became very emotional. "Timothy, you're my hero. I'll never forget you." Timothy asked, "You're my hero too, Prince William. Will you come again?" William said, "Of course I'll come. I promise." He gave each child something different: badges, pictures, special notes. The nurses and doctors also saw William off. Everyone's eyes were filled with tears. As William left the hospital, the morning light was illuminating the day. He sat in the car and took a deep breath. What he had experienced that night had deeply affected him. On his way home, he looked at the picture Timothy had given him. He had placed it on the front of the car. This picture would remind him of many things. When he arrived at Kensington Palace, Kate was sleeping. William quietly went inside, took a shower, and lay down next to Kate. Kate woke up and saw William. "Where were you?" she asked in a sleepy voice. "I was somewhere very important," William said. "I'll tell you about it." At breakfast, William told Kate about the night, Timothy, the other children, their families, the nurses. He told everything in detail. Kate was very moved. "William, this is wonderful. How meaningful it must have been for these children." William showed Kate the picture Timothy had drawn. When Kate saw the picture, her eyes filled with tears. "This is so beautiful, William. These children love you so much. Kate, I want to make regular visits, but without media, quietly." Kate said, "That's a wonderful idea. Can I come with you too?" William smiled. "Of course. Together we can help even more." From that day on, William and Kate began making regular nighttime hospital visits. These visits never appeared in the media. Timothy's condition improved, his treatment was successful, and he was discharged. He always carried the badge William had given him. The other children were also very affected by William's visits. They approached treatment more positively. William, by talking with the hospital administration, made special donations to the pediatric oncology ward. New equipment was purchased. Family rooms were arranged. Nurse Linda Davies says, "William's visit that night changed everything. Not just for the children, but for us too. We saw that he was human, before being a prince. Dr. Richardson adds, "These visits help the treatment process a lot. The effect of children's morale on treatment is incredible." Timothy's family wrote a special thank you letter to William. "Your Majesty, we will never forget what you did for us that night. Timothy is now healthy and happy, thanks to the strength you gave him." After this experience, William made hospital visits one of the most important duties of his life. "These children teach me much more than I teach them," William says. Kate also participates in these visits and says, "The compassion William showed that night really moved me. He's truly a special person." This story shows that William is not just a prince, but also a very special human being. His behavior at the hospital that night proves what true leadership is. What does this story mean to you? What do you think about the compassion William showed? We're waiting for your comments. If you want to hear more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. See you in the next video.